Hello everyone, this is Dave from Dave's Recent Things. I have done a couple of clothespin wreaths in the past. I believe it was spring of 2022 that I did a couple. There was a hummingbird one and there was also one that I made for your laundry room. And it inspired me. Let's do some more. So this time around we're going to do a clothespin wreath, but for the autumn fall season. Why don't I just get started and I'll show you how I put it together. I am using a 14-inch wire wreath frame from the Dollar Tree as my base, and also these wooden clothespins. They come 32 in a pack. This little wooden disc round that says home on it, and of course some acrylic paints that I got from both the Dollar Tree and Dollarama. A paintbrush for our acrylic paints, and everything that started this whole wreath off and the whole theme, this ribbon, 2.5-inch wired ribbon, and of course my crafting utensils today. This is everything I'm going to be using for the project today. I'm going to start off with that wooden disc round, and I'm going to mix a little bit of brown acrylic paint into my orange, and then all I'm going to do is paint that color right on top over the HOME, so the home portion of this little wooden disc. I'm not going to paint anything else, the sides or anything. I'm just going to paint that home. And then for the background, I'm going to add a little acrylic brown paint and water, mix that all together, and that's going to create a little bit of a stain effect. And I'm going to go in there with my little paintbrush and get into those little crevices and those little details. And then after I do all of that, I'm going to get a larger paintbrush and finish the rest. Once I'm done, I'm going to let that dry for a little bit and then I'm going to move on. I'm going to be painting these clothespins, but I'm not going to be painting the entire clothespin. In the past, I have painted the entire clothespin, the tops, the bottoms, the sides, and I thought today, why don't I just try painting the tops and let's see how that goes. So here I am, I'm grabbing that same orange I created before, and now I'm going to paint some of the blue on there. I did do 2 coats of this for each of the orange and the blue paint, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz, a little more pop. And then I'm going to take that water and brown paint mixture and I'm going to paint on some of the wooden clothespins. For the totals, I did 32 blue, 32 orange, 64 of the natural brown color that you see there. And then, of course, I did 32 of the natural color, so I didn't paint anything. So those are the totals for all of the clothespins. Now, when I was letting everything dry, I was looking at this home sign and I wanted to bring in the blue somehow. And then I just thought, let's dot it. So all I did was grabbed one end of my paintbrush and dipped it into the blue paint and I just dotted it all the way around. And I thought it kind of looks kind of cool bringing everything together. Everything is now dry. I have all my piles. And the first thing I'm going to do is flip over that wreath form so the front faces down. I'm going to be using this method for this clothespin wreath. Now, for each section, I'm going to do 15 at the top, clothespins, and 11 at the bottom. And of course, we have 6 sections, and that's where all of my totals come from. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages of those clothespins. Now, to start, I'm going to do one section, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the clothespins on the outer 2 wires. And the inner wire is going to be for the inner layer of clothespins. And if you look at your clothespins, you've got 2 holes there. There's a small hole and a larger hole. I am actually going to attach it to the 2 wires using those 2 holes. So all you have to do is just open up that clothespin. It fits right in. So the outermost wire fits in the small hole, and then the inner wire fits in the larger hole. So again, it's that small hole and the larger hole you want in those 2 outer wires. It fits perfectly. It's just awesome. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that same method all the way across, and I'm going to mix and mingle my blue painted clothespins, the orange ones, the stained ones, and the natural ones to fill it all in. And you can see that outer layer is done, and I have 15 clothespins. Now, let's work on the inner layer. And all I'm going to do is use that smaller hole and attach it to that inner wire. Now this leaves it a little bit loose. It's not as secure as the other one. You can see it's kind of moving around. I'll show you in a couple of seconds what I did to secure everything, but I'm going to get all of my clothespins on there first, and then I'm actually going to attach them. So we have the 11 on the inside now, and all I'm going to do to attach everything is I'm just going to flip those over a little bit. You can see they're bouncing around. And I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm just going to put a dab of glue at the end of each one here. And I'm going to push it back in place. And then there's a little bit of glue that holds those clothespins in place, and they're not going to pop back out again. And I do this for every single section. I do the outer section, then I do the inner section, and then I glue that all together. And I'm just going to complete everything now. And once it's all complete, I've got my last one going in. I'm trying to decide what color to put as the last one. And I decide let's pick the blue. And then I'm just going to place that in there like I did with all the other wreaths. And then I'm going to just add that glue and push it to the clothespin behind. And there you go. We have our clothespin wreath all ready for our finishing touches. One of my finishing touches is a bow. So this is 2.5-inch wired ribbon, and I'm going to do a first cut at 48 inches and a second cut I'm going to be doing at 24, and it's going to be 30 inches. I forgot what it was for a second, but I'm on track now. I'm just going to dovetail that shorter piece. That's going to be the tail portion of our ribbon. And for our actual ribbon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half, find my center point, and then I'm going to unravel it, and I'm going to take one end and bring it back into the center, creating a loop. Then I'm going to take the other end, bring it right back to the center, and that's going to create a figure 8 shape. Now with that figure 8 shape, you can glue all your ribbons together if you want, or you can do that handy dandy stapler and just staple it together if you don't want to use hot glue. Now we have our figure 8 or infinity symbol. We are going to bring in one edge, fold it over just so you can find the center, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring that one loop inward to the center along with the opposite side, and that's going to create your 4 loops for this bow. Then you're just going to squish down right in the center, pinch it with your fingers. I'm going to grab a cable tie to attach all of this together, but you can use a pipe cleaner if you want. That's totally good. I am not going to close that cable tie tightly just yet. I'm actually going to feed my tail portion through that little section there, that cable tie. Once I find the middle, I'll just bring it down, and then I'm going to attach a pipe cleaner. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And then you can use that pipe cleaner to attach it to your wreath if you need to. And there we go. We have our bow almost done. One little step to cover up that cable tie. I'm just going to cut off a little piece of ribbon. I'm going to fold it in the center, and then I'm going to use some hot glue just to attach it all together. And this little piece is going to be used to cover that cable tie right in the center. All I do is I just loop it all the way around, bring it to the back, put a little hot glue down, hold it there for a bit, and then I can bring the other section all around the top and then hold that there, let the glue settle, and now we have created our little bow with 4 little loops and those long tails. I did cut the tails down a little bit because I don't think it's going to fit and it's going to cover up my signage. But here we go. We are going to attach that home wooden disc sign onto our wreath using hot glue. And all I'm going to do is I put a whole bunch of hot glue down, and then I'm just going to press it and hold it there until it dries, just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Now let's see this bow, and those tails are way too long. It covers that home sign. I don't want it to. So all I do is I just mark it off with a little marker, and then I'm just going to dovetail those tails, making it a little bit shorter so that home sign is totally visible. Doing my last dovetail here, and then let's see how this fits right on there. Nice and perfect. Let's grab a whole bunch of hot glue, put it on the back. I'm going to cover the hole with the bow so we don't have to worry about it and we don't see it. And I'm just going to move it around so that home is not covered. Here we are, our final wreath. I just love, love, love the colors. It's non-traditional fall colors. I mean, you have the orange and the browns and the neutral colors, but that blue I just love. And of course, the inspiration was that ribbon that I found. Here is all of our clothespins with just the tops painted, and I actually think it really works for this wreath. You are more than welcome to paint the entire clothespin if you want, but I just love how this turned out with that little home sign and of course that bow, perfect for the fall autumn season and hanging on your door. Thank you so much for watching and joining me today. I always appreciate you watching my videos. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.